one of the things that frustrated me in this whole leak experience is how our media would take a document and then take that information and run with it as if it were the word of God, as if the burning bush had been lit, and therefore everything in this document is true, and therefore the public must understand that this is the gospel according to, the CIA. But the fact of the matter is, and again, I'd like your insight. I'll give a quick experience from mine. James Clapper, former CIA director, used to be the head of the imagery. I mean, they change their names so often, but what used to be NEMA became something else. But he has acknowledged in his book and afterwards that his organization was tasked with, it's an imagery analysis organization. So they look at imagery from national technical means. And basically they were told to find proof of Iraqi weapons of mass destruction. And so he said that he ordered his analysts to find weapons of mass destruction capability, looking at imagery when no such capability existed. And then they produced reports that ended up in the briefing documents for the President of the United States, the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, et cetera. And I bring this up because I'll give you an example. People point to the casualty figures that were contained in one of the briefing documents. And a lot of people assume that those casualty figures had to be based upon really good intelligence. And my position is that because the political sensitivity of those casualty figures is so high, that even within a document prepared for the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, people will be told to lie, to put in numbers that aren't true, to shape the data for political purposes. And that sometimes the intelligence community is in the business of deceiving people on purpose. And that's why you can't believe the numbers. Am I off base on this, or is there justification?
Oh, no, heavens no. In fact, people need to understand these documents are a snapshot in time. And so particularly the documents that showed up on the internet were dated February 28th, March 1st, March 2nd. I can take you back. I think if I go back and look at sonar21.com, you'll see that I had written back around the end of February. I was in conversation with one of my friends who's still active in the intelligence side of things. And I asked him, and he was careful not to divulge any classified information. He wasn't saying, yeah, I saw this, top secret this. But he did say that there had the Defense Intelligence Agency was taking information directly from the Ukrainians and republishing it with respect to casualties. And they'd kept doing that until like one day, and it was around March 1st, March 2nd, they changed just overnight. They stopped reporting verbatim what the Ukrainians were giving them, and then started caveating and said, well, we don't know. And in fact, that's reflected in one of these documents where in the bluff, the bottom line up front, the summary paragraph at the start of some of these documents, they state very specifically that the polite way that they said it very diplomatically, but we think the Ukrainians are lying to us about the numbers they're giving. So that, but again, you got to understand it's a snapshot in time. It's like I said last week that based upon my experience and based upon talking to another friend, a retired CIA officer who's still working in military SCIFs, that there's no way that this kid could have had access to a CIA Ops Center report. Today, I have to revise that because I've now received updated information from somebody who knows that, in fact, that document is available because the CIA personnel have been assigned to these military units, and therefore they have access.
Subscribe if you know that mainstream media is lying to you. The world of intelligence gathering is often clouded with secrecy, misinformation, and misinterpretations. And as we've recently seen, it can lead to a series of misguided assumptions and false conclusions, particularly when the media gets a hold of classified information. First, let's consider the changing nature of intelligence gathering. In the past, intelligence operations were often focused on single units and specific tasks. But as the world has become more interconnected, the intelligence community has had to adapt. This has led to the consolidation of resources and the retirement of many experts in the field. Instead, we now have reserve units that are constantly drilling and being tasked by national agencies, such as the CIA or the Department of Defense. The focus of these units has also shifted, with many now concentrating on cyber warfare and information warfare. This is an important point to consider, as it may provide an explanation for how certain sensitive documents found their way into the hands of unauthorized individuals. However, just because a document is classified with fancy code words and top secret markings does not mean the information it contains is accurate. In fact, oftentimes, intelligence documents can be filled with false information, outdated analysis, or even manipulated data to serve a specific agenda. The media tends to latch onto these documents, treating them as if they were the gospel truth. They fail to realize that the information they're reporting may be incomplete, outdated, or even deliberately misleading. This can lead to a cascade of inaccuracies and false assumptions that spread like wildfire, potentially causing significant harm. One example of this is the case of the infamous weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. Intelligence agencies were tasked with finding evidence of these weapons, even though they did not actually exist. As a result, they produced reports that were used to justify military intervention and had far-reaching consequences. It's essential to recognize that intelligence documents are only a snapshot in time, and a good analyst must be adaptable and open to revising their conclusions as new information becomes available. This is not a sign of incompetence or deceit, but rather a reflection of the constantly changing landscape of intelligence. So, the next time you hear about a leaked intelligence document or a classified report, remember to take it with a grain of salt. Do not assume that the information is accurate, complete, or even true. Instead, keep an open mind, question what you read, and seek out multiple sources to form a well-rounded understanding of the situation. After all, the world of intelligence gathering is rarely as simple or straightforward as it may seem. As we delve further into the complex world of intelligence gathering, it's important to remember that even the most skilled analysts and intelligence officers can make mistakes or be subject to political pressures. The intelligence community is often tasked with making sense of an ever-changing landscape, and sometimes that means revising their assessments as new information comes to light. One example that highlights the challenges faced by the intelligence community is the reporting of casualty figures in conflict zones. These numbers can be highly sensitive, and sometimes they are manipulated for political reasons. In such cases, even documents prepared for high-ranking officials may contain false information designed to serve a particular agenda. Moreover, as conflicts evolve and the situation on the ground changes, the assumptions made by intelligence agencies may need to be revised. In the case of the recent conflict in Ukraine, for instance, the loss of their air defense system dramatically altered the balance of power, requiring analysts to reevaluate their previous assessments. It's crucial for both the public and decision makers to understand that intelligence is not an exact science, and that it's subject to change as new information emerges. Relying solely on leaked documents or classified reports can lead to an incomplete or even distorted understanding of the situation. So, what can we take away from this discussion? First and foremost, it's essential to approach intelligence reports with a healthy degree of skepticism. Do not take them at face value, and always consider the possibility that the information contained within may be inaccurate, outdated, or deliberately misleading. Second, remember that intelligence gathering is a constantly evolving process. Good analysts are not prisoners of their past assessments. They are adaptable and able to revise their conclusions as new information becomes available. This is not a sign of incompetence or deceit, but rather a reflection of the fluid nature of intelligence work. It's important to remember that the world of intelligence is often shrouded in secrecy and misinformation. As such, it's crucial to seek out multiple sources of information, question what you read, and maintain an open mind when trying to make sense of complex situations. By doing so, you'll be better equipped to form a well-rounded understanding of the world around you and the many challenges that lie ahead. The intelligence community operates in an intricate and ever-changing environment where the truth can be elusive and deception is sometimes the name of the game. As members of the public, it's our responsibility to approach leaked documents and classified reports with caution information and to always question the information we receive. By doing so, we can better understand the complexities of the world we live in and make more informed decisions about the issues that matter most. Click the video on screen to stay updated and fight the Free People's Movement. Click this video now to stay updated.